Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coaching Call podcast with Amy Griffith. I am your host, Amy Griffith, and so lovely to be here with you guys. I am excited for this episode today. I'm going to try and keep this one shorter and see if I can get two podcasts out for you guys today. And this one is going to be focused on emotions in your business. And an idea, sorry, my dog's clacking around. This idea came from, I saw someone write on social media about this, and I just couldn't agree more. It's like, it's such an important thing. Oh my, now he's trying to climb up. Basil, if you guys haven't met him yet, if this is your first time on here, my dog is so loud, and you will hear him in literally every single episode. He's an English bulldog. He's doing this thing now where he's not laying beside me, he's crawling up the table to come sit with me. Basil, this is not the time. This might be a noisy one if he keeps trying to like climb like a bear. I'll sit with you after. Separation anxiety. So yeah, it was actually Shelby Sapp. A lot of you are probably familiar with her if you are on social media at all and are an entrepreneur in sales, network marketing, whatever. I am obsessed with the advice that she gives. I actually haven't done any of her like master classes or anything like that, but even just the value that she gives on her social media and like reels and stuff, it's so valuable. She has incredible advice that I am like, yes, yes, yes. Like it is more just, it's like people have gone away from working hard and just going in flow. And she's like, no, 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 like you need to work hard. Like if you want to be a millionaire, you have to work hard. And like this is what it actually takes and whatnot. And I just think it's really real, it's really raw and authentic, and it's great advice for people who want to grow a business, and there's no fluff around it, it's no BS. Anyway, so she wrote in somewhere on social media that she's been having a really hard week, past 7 days, and she's been sad and things are going on, but you would have never known because it is not on her social media. It is not all over, like she is not airing that out. You would never know. She's still showing up. She's still making content. She's still doing calls. She's running her empire. She's running her business. And this is really important. And I hear it from people all the time where things are happening. I'm going through a hard time. I'm going through a lot. Oh, it's been a week. Oh, this, oh, that. Woe is me. All these things. And you guys, like, your emotions are always going to be there with you. There is always going to be things going on. And I don't want to, discredit them and say that they're not bad things or hard things. Like we'll get into this. Yes, I know that they are hard things, but if you are someone who actually wants to grow a business and you are treating this like a business and you want to be earning a significant amount of income that will change your life and your generational wealth, you cannot let your temporary emotions, hard times in your life deter you from your business. It just, that cannot even be an option. And a lot of people make it their excuse. Not only is it an option, it's like it has like, oh, things are not going my way. Something sad is going on. I'm going through a breakup. I'm going through this. I'm going through XYZ, all these things. I can't work my business. And they just switch off and go. And I want to go through like some of my tips for this that I recommend for you guys when you're going through a hard time and trying to work on your business. And I've been asked this before when I'm like going through it, how do I keep going? And like, I don't have a choice. Like, there's never been a time in my business where I'm going through it and I've had the choice to not show up. Like, as soon as you give yourself the choice to show up or not, like it's a hobby to you. If you feel like, and this might be like sound a little bit harsh, like if you're really going through something really, really tough, like deaths will happen, like yeah, breakups, divorces, things with your kids, someone's getting sick, dogs going to the vet, like all sorts of different things. I understand that these things happen. Things like this happen to me, to people around me all the time. Life is going to keep lifing, okay? But if I stopped showing up for my business every time that I got sad or was going through it or didn't feel like it or was going through a really hard time, like I have bills to pay. Like I need a roof over my head. And I understand for so many people, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're just starting your business and you're just starting to get things up and running, like even for me, when I was working 9 to 5 and when I was capped on my paychecks in traditional work, it was still extremely hard for me to pay for the things I needed to pay for. It was really hard for me to pay my bills and things like that. Like it, when I started my business and before I was making good money, it still wasn't an option to not work. Like it just wasn't. It was like those two things were like separated in my brain where my emotions are here. Okay, this is happening in my life and this is personal and this is making me upset. But here's my business, my future, my vision, my growth. I need to pay my bills. I need to focus on the vision and the goal. Basil, he's literally like staring at me over there, crying. I hope you guys can't hear him. He's going, Basil is your example for this call. He is going through his hard time and he needs to learn how to separate these two, how to separate these emotions. So, back to how I like view it. I simply never gave myself the choice. It was never ever a choice. This was never ever a hobby to me, even when I first started. And my first paycheck was $12.75 from my first customer. Like it was never a choice to not work. And if it is, this is a hobby to you. If you give yourself the choice, if you're even happy things, oh, I'm traveling all week, like there's no time to run my business, or I can't do this, or I can't jump on the calls and I can't do that. I'm sorry, but it's a hobby to you. If this was a true business, if you actually wanted your goals, nothing would get in your way. Nothing when you go off routine, when things are happening in your life, like that just would never be an option. So you really got to take a good look within and at yourself and your business. And this will be next week's episode is this a hobby or a business to you? And 95% of you are going to realize that you've actually been treating this like a hobby. And like you guys, I'm calling myself up too, even though I'm like business and teaching this, I'm in this with you. I am not perfect. And I absolutely still have my seasons where I'm like, this is some hobby behavior. Like I have to check myself and be like, this is not like that's not very CEO mindset of me, or I'm getting a little relaxed over here, a little lazy, a little comfortable. Like, what am I doing? That's not how I want to be running my business. And I can call myself out and be better and work on that and grow through that. And then what happens when I step into like really running a business? It pays me like a business. It grows like a business, right? So it's okay if these things happen and you're not perfect. We're learning and we're growing, but we have to be really like a lot of you know this, but aren't doing it still. So I'm gonna like drive it into you right now so that you know it and live it and actually do it, because that's the only time that things are going to change and your business is going to start paying you like a business when you treat it as such. So how I look at this, like when I was working traditional jobs and I was going through a hard time and things were happening and my house was flooding, I was like living in a basement suite and the whole thing's like flooding, or personal life things or whatever. I never didn't show up to work because I was sad. I would go to work and I'd be sad, but I'd put a smile on my face. Like, yes, there are times where you need to fake it till you make it. 100%. You don't just not show up. I couldn't afford to not show up. If you guys can afford to not show up to work or to work your business, if you can truly afford that, cool. Like I love that for you. That was not an option for me, especially with the goals that I have. And now, even though I can afford to take time off and to do things and whatnot, the goals and the vision that I have and the impact that I'm looking to create and the standard that I am seeing for my life, I can't afford it. To me, I cannot afford to let my feelings go into my business and make it negative and make it toxic and like it deteriorate it, you know? It's just like that's just not, it just doesn't make sense to me. So like think about it with your own 9 to 5 if you have a job, if you run a different business. Like I know my fiance has traditional businesses that he runs, and when he doesn't feel like it, which can be a lot of the time, he does not feel like it, he shows up every single day. He works every single day, weekends, 7 days a week. It There's no other option. Like if the businesses are gonna run, he is up and run and doing something somewhere for the businesses. Like There just isn't an option, regardless of if you're mad, sad, happy, angry, it's your birthday, celebrating, doing this, doing that. Like you're showing up if you want to build a real business. That's just the way that it is. And like, think about for any CEO of any business who is running this entire corporation, how do you think they treat their business when they're having a tough day? Like a really tough day, like things are really not looking well, not going well in their personal life somewhere. They're still showing up. You need to learn how to deal with your stuff outside of your business, outside of work, right? Like separate the two. This is something I'm going to deal with later. And this is what I do in my brain is like, okay, this is really bugging me. This is like, affecting me or making me feel some type of way. I literally visualize myself, I'm putting that away for later. I have coaching calls I need to do. And I like going on to coaching calls or conversations or making my content or building my business with that baggage making me not my best self. It means the people I'm coaching are not getting the best of me. They're getting a watered down version of me. They are not getting my energy. I am not helpful. I'm not like, I'm doing them a disservice by bringing my crap into it, right? And bringing my sadness and my negative emotions. This is why people on social media who are positive all the time, and like people have said this to me, and I've heard it. People ask other people, how are you so happy all the time? How are you so positive and in a good mood? And like, how are you like that all the time? The answer is we're not. I'm not. Other people who show up happy all the time, of course we're not. Like we're human. That doesn't make any sense. But why on earth would we show up on our social media crying, bawling, airing out all of our stuff, bringing it on to you? And there's times to be vulnerable, 1000%, but it shouldn't be negative, right? There should be a purpose behind being vulnerable and sharing struggles and what you're going through with like you're sharing a story, like the peak, the valley, the peak, like giving context to it to make it something that can inspire someone is different from going on there and just like negative, I'm sad, woe was me, crying. Like you guys see what I mean, right? It's completely different. That's going to leave someone feeling pretty crappy and pretty upset and like not like it's not growing you. It will affect your paycheck when you are showing up sad in your business and not at all. What a lot of people do is they don't show up sad. They just don't show up at all. And that is also equally as bad because it's going to be clear. Your team is going to be like, oh, we were running and now you're like, missing, or people who have been in conversations with you. Oh, you're MIA. Good thing I didn't do business with you because I have no idea where you went. Like people can't read your mind. They don't know, right? And this is different, you guys, from when you make a conscious decision to take a weekend off, to shut your phone off for a day, to go on the vacation that you've had planned with your family and not work. Like it's different from taking time off work that you've built to the point where you're like, I am deciding to intentionally switch off from my business to go do this instead. These are different things, right? That like, I'm not saying work 24/7 and go and push and like drive yourself into the ground. You guys know I love rest. I love that flow. I love that keeping ourselves in a state of being able to keep that momentum going while taking care of ourselves. But I'm specifically speaking to your emotions and the people who are letting that completely dictate what's going to happen next. And like you are living through your emotions. So I've not been going off on my notes in the slightest. Let's see where I am so I don't miss anything. Um, yeah, how to work when you're going through a hard time. Like I just simply don't have that choice. You really need to think about it as is this a business or a hobby to you? And making that decision, like it literally is that clear. Knowing that life is all I said always going to keep lifing, things are always going to be happening. It something going on in your life right now, I'm sorry to tell you, but something else is going to happen down the road later as well. And everything's temporary. It's gonna come, it's gonna go, it's gonna pass, just like all the happy good things. It's gonna come, it's gonna go, it's gonna pass. Things are always going to be happening. We're always in motion in that way. All you can do, you can't stop those things from happening, but what you can do is control how you react and how you deal with it and how you show up through it. So utilize that time when shit's hitting the fan and things are not going your way and you're not feeling yourself. How can I move through this and show up even though this is happening over here? How can I push this to the side right now? Close it off for a moment, tap into who I know I am, bring my business self on, put my business hat on, like I'm in work mode and I'm going to show up the best I can be here. I'm going to deal with that later. I'm going to get to it later. You can get to it later, right? It will still be there and maybe it'll sort itself out when you are out doing something else. Like you don't know, giving that time and that space is good, can help so many different situations. And it's going to help you guys learn that you can still work and show up and be a boss and like make moves and be successful when things are going on, when you are appropriately dealing with it, if that makes sense, right? So just it's so much easier said than done. I know, especially when it's really, really big things that can be happening in your life. But it's required. It's so required if you want to have incredible success. Like it really, really is. Okay. And remembering that you have a responsibility. So I feel responsible for people. Like I do. At the moment I had the first person say yes to me who wanted to do business alongside me, I felt this sense of responsibility right away, right? And you guys should as well. Or even when you have clients coming in, people are trusting you. People are buying things from you, not for the company or necessarily just for the product, but from you for a reason. They could buy from anyone. They could get anything from anywhere and whatever service from a different company, whatever. They're buying from you. They are trusting you. They're assuming you're going to be there and continue to show up and continue to build that trust. And as soon as you flip the switch, peace out, goodbye, I'm going through a hard time, you kind of leave people hanging, right? And especially when you have a team and people who are saying yes and trusting you on this journey, it doesn't mean that you need to be this fancy, magical leader, mentor extraordinaire. It's like, especially network marketing, the profession that I'm in, the system is really simple, but the best way to lead is to lead by example, to be the person who's going and doing it and showing up. Like that's key. That's like the basic foundation. So if you remove that, really, really going to be hard for people to trust you and to be excited to grow with you and to support you and work with you if you're all over the shop, right? So remembering that you do have that responsibility when you are working with other people as well. And the last thing I'll say with this, you guys, is I see it with so many people who really do let their mood like control everything in their life. And we have to remember that our mood, our emotions, and how we feel, it's so temporary. And it's in you to keep you safe and comfortable, right? It's just our natural instincts to like stay cozy and safe and warm and everything's fine and no change and stagnant, right? It sounds nice, cozy and fun and warm, stagnant and stuck. The longer you stay comfortable like that, the longer you just give into your mood. Oh, I want to eat all that food because it tastes the best and I just feel like it and treat myself. And oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I need to rest and I need to rest again this next day. And I'm actually going to rest again this next day. And I'm also need a little bit more rest because I'm tired from the rest I had on the weekend. So I need to rest more for that rest that I had. Like, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The longer you do that, stuck, 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 stuck. You're getting more and more stuck in the quicksand, just like sinking down into it. That is what it's designed for. And as you give into that over and over and over and over, you lose all control of your life and the change you want to see in your life. This is why the change is not happening. Okay. Following your mood time and time and time again, it's going to make you really lazy. It's going to make you lazy. It will make you more sad. It will bring you into depression for so many people. Like it won't help you move. It's not there to help you. And again, don't get me wrong. There's times when you're sick, when you're unwell. Yes, stay in bed. Focus on your health. Like those things, obviously, there's times, and there are times you need the rest. But I'm talking about over and over with your mood. You guys need to remember this is the most important part of this, is that when you take disciplined actions, when you do something that you do not feel like doing, but you know you need to do it, you know that the best version of you would do that thing, You know and feel in your gut, this is what I need to do. Waking up in the morning, your alarm goes off. I do not want to get up. Story of my freaking life. I do not want to get up, but I know as soon as I'm up and I'm in momentum and I'm going and I have an early start to my day and I'm getting on top of my stuff, my mood changes. Suddenly, I feel good. It boosts me. I'm moving in the direction that I want to be going. Take the discipline actions, your mood will change. If you give in to your current mood, it doesn't change anything. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make you stuck. It's going to make you sink. But if you take the discipline actions against what your mood is telling you you want to do, and you do the thing that you know is going to grow you and help you and actually guide you as to who you want to be, you take control of your life. You take that control back and you say, actually, it's up to me. There's two of me. One is saying we want to do this, but then the me that I like know and isn't just my subconscious telling me what to do. It's like the changes I want to make in my life and who I want to become comes from me taking new actions in my life. And then your mood follows, right? Everyone's waiting to feel motivated. Go take action, go work your business. You will get motivated. I do it all the time. I sit down, I have my to-do list, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. But then I pep talk myself and I'm like, nope, nope, we're gonna do it. We literally again, no choice. I don't give myself that choice. We have to do it. Okay, I start going into the momentum and then I'm buzzing and then I'm on fire and then I'm excited and then I'm doing more than what's on the list because I'm in that flow of activity. The motivation comes later, the momentum, the mood changes. You have the control, you guys. So I said I was gonna make this shorter. I don't know if it is. I think it is, but I hope this plants a seed in your mind for you guys. Send this to anyone who you think might need it, might find it useful. Screenshot, share it on your stories, tag me at Coaching Call Podcast or at It's Amy Griffith so that I can thank you guys for listening, and be sure to rate it 5 stars if this was helpful for you so I can keep pumping these out for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this one. A little more tough love, not too tough though. It's important. I hope you enjoyed this important one, and I hope you start to apply it straight away so it can make the rest of your 2025 this year incredible. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.